time to get back on the track to do what I want to do, what I can do, what I came here for to do. So I got back to the poker tables finally, playing poker with live like chips and cards and everything, like around about like 11 months. On our way back in action. Check this out. Alright, ladies and gents. Yeah, I'm usually like a 1-3 player, but I'm right now planning to go, or like trying to get to 2-5, maybe 5-5 at some point. Actually more, I'm a tournament player and I really want to stick with it, but now I want to try to get like cash game running, like for like a daily income, and just like getting bigger tournaments. Usually I play like $100, $200, $300 buy-in tournaments. And I would like to extend it, like bigger ones, like 500 to 1500 buy-ins, where the real money is coming from. And yeah, today we will try the Bellagio cash game. I will jump on the waiting list for 1-3 and 2-5. We are in the middle of the day. So you can see pure sunshine, hot as shit. Who would have thought in the middle of desert? So I jumped into the 1-3 game and it went straight up. Like you can see, at one point 4 times the starting stick. Unfortunately the night will not end like this, so let's talk about some hands. So the first thing I would like to go over with, I'm on the low jack, I have ace queen off, I open it up for $10. The button decides to call, he has effective $240 in front of him, and the small blinds decide to raise. He raised it up to $40 out of his 300-ish stack. I call and the button decides to call as well. So we go 3 ways to the flop. And the flop comes ace 9-7 rainbow. The small blind leads out for $35 into the $123 pot. I call, I just hope to proceed in position with my strong holding, but the button has different ideas. He pushed it all in with his $200 remaining stack. The small blind almost snap folds, and then it's over to me and I have to find a decision. My thought process at this moment was why he should do it with any premium holdings like pocket 9s or pocket 7s for a set, or even a good 2 pair like ace 9, ace 7 or even 9-7, which makes way more sense to just call it and then have a pot size shove on the turn, which will be way more effective in my opinion. So I put him on a draw like 10-8 or like 8-6 or even weaker ace, so just absolutely overvalue his hands, which I see a lot in the small stacks games. So after around about 1 minute tanking and running all the hands through my head, I decided to call. And the board brings a 10 on the turn and the queen on the river. I feel very confident with the 2 pair on the river until the opponent shows us 8-6 for a straight on the turn. Yeah, we lose this pot, but my read and my call was correct. The next hand I would like to talk about, the under the gun player opens it up for $15. It all falls around to me. I'm in a small blind with king 10 offsuit. I decide to raise it up to $52. This player especially was pretty loose. I wanted to isolate him, or even I'm happy when I can take the pot from there. But even with king 10 I feel pretty confident to go with him the flop. The big blind decides to fold and he decides to call, so we go heads up to the flop. The flop comes ace king 8 rainbow. I continue with a range bet of $45 into this $107 pot. I'm happy to take down the pot right away, but he calls and we proceed to the turn. And the turn brings a quite interesting card, the king of diamonds. At this point I decided to play tricky, so I check over to him and try to induce any bluffs or just show me weak, but he checks back and we go on to the river. And the river comes a jack of diamonds, which completes the backdoor flush draw and possible straight draw, but I'm not too scared about it. I check it over to him, still playing weak, and hope that he's trying to bluff me, or thinks he's good with any ace. Unfortunately, he just checks back and I'm the first to act, so I show my cards and they're good. He mucks, and yeah, like I thought from the beginning, he has a weak holding, so I win the pot. Now in the next hand we have 3 limpers. I'm in the cutoff. I have king jack off. I raise it up to $25. Button and both blinds fold, but all 3 limpers call. So we go 4 ways to flop. And the flop brings ace, jack, 7 or rainbow. It will check around to me and I have the option to continuation bet, or what I did in this situation, I checked because I have a jack, so I have some showdown value, I have some backup draws for a straight draw. If I continuation bet here, I most probably only get called by an ace or maybe a better hand like mine. After I check behind, the turn brings a king. They all check around to me again, and this time I'm definitely gonna put in a bet for value. I put $45 in this $104 pot. Undergun player calls, the rest of the limpers fold. So we go heads up to the river. And the river brings a 3. The board is completely rainbow. And now the under the gun player decides to lead with $115 into the $194 pot. So I was thinking, what holdings could he have? If I give him like a 2 pair, like an ace jack or ace king, he definitely would raise by himself pre-flop. So, and I also block a king and a jack by my own holding. So maybe an ace 7, ace 3 could be, or maybe a queen 10 holding for a straight. But my holding is way too strong, and at the end I give him weak ace. Maybe he hit the king like a king queen on the turn. So I decided to call, and to my surprise I run into ace jack off, 2 pair on the flop. Well played. Let's get on to the next hand. This next hand is a good one. There's a live straddle going on. It falls around to me in the cutoff. I have king 9 suited. I'll raise it up to $20. Would like to isolate the straddler. The small blind decides to raise. He put in $56. Everybody folds around to me, and I'm in position with a good holding, more or less, and I decide to call. So we go heads up to the flop, and it comes 966 rainbow. The small blind put in a bet from $90 into the $122 pot, and it goes over to me. And I found this bet size very suspicious. 3/4 of the pot. When he has a strong holding like a big pocket pair, then he would like to keep my any 9, 8-7 suited for a draw or weaker pocket pair in the game. So I got the feeling he likes to push me out of the pot with a maybe ace king, ace queen, ace jack holding. So I decided to call. And the turn brings the king. Small blind put in a bet from $125 into the $302 pot. And at this moment I knew I'm way ahead. The only hand I saw what I would lose to would be aces. So I reshove all my stake into it, $250-ish. He decides, he thinks for a second and calls as well, so I give him ace king at this moment. And we go to the river, and the river brings a 7, pretty safe. I turn over my 2 pair, king 9. He checks one more time his cards, then mucks them, and I scoop a very nice pot over $800. Yeah, it also goes this way. The last hand from the night I want to talk with you about is also a bigger one. I'm in the hijack with the ladies. I open it up to $15. The cutoff raised me to $42. It all falls around back to me, and I 3-bet it to $130. And after some tanking, the cutoff calls. And the flop comes king 3-3. I could do a continuation bet for a range bet, but I also like to mix it with the queens or the jacks, so I just check it over to the cutoff and see what he's doing. And he instantly shoves all in for his remaining $280, $90-ish stack, the roughly pot size shove, and it get back to me. like always, I was thinking why he should do it with a premium holding like aces, kings, ace, king, king, queen, when I show weakness. So would makes no sense to push me all in if we would have such a strong holding. So after around about 2 minutes thinking, running all the hands through my head, all the information I had from this player, what I saw in the hands before from him, I ended up that this is a bluff and I'm way ahead and I'm way too strong with the ladies. So I decided to call. The turn brings a beautiful queen and the river is a jack. And funny enough, he shows ace 10 off for a river straight, but I have full house on the turn already, so I scoop another big pot over $850-ish, and yeah, running good in the beginning of the session, but like I said at the beginning, doesn't end like this.
Yeah, okay, in a mess. So this was my Bellagio experience. You see, I need the Zen Garden to come down. It was crazy. It went straight up, like over 1.2k in front of me. Crazy hands, good calls, bad calls. Yeah, end up with minus 100. I have a lot of hands to analyze,
And this is just what I did with you guys. But I have some more hands I played at the Bellagio a week later, and this time I could film them. So let's jump into these hands. And the first hand I can show you is pocket nines from the button. It's very early in the night, maybe playing 15-20 minutes on the table. I'm on the button. The under the gun player opens it up for $10. Under the gun +1, hijack, cutoff, and me, we call. So we go 5 ways to the flop. And the flop comes 9, 8, 5, 2 hearts. The pot is $51 and the under the gun player decides to fold. Yeah, it's always good when the strongest range pre-flop folds, make my life way easier. Under the gun player +1, put in a bet from $30, hijack, tanks a little bit and checks his cards again and fold as well. Goes over to the cutoff, which makes a call, and it gets over to me. I'm sitting on the button with the effective nuts except of 7-6, but my hand is very strong, and on this very wet board I decide to put in a raise. The best way to get heads up to the turn and river, and I would like to charge the draws or any top pair holdings or maybe 2 pairs, and even when the turn brings another heart or even a small card for a possible straight draw, still have a lot of outs on the river to make a full house and to have the winning hand. The under the gun player let his cards go and it goes over to the cutoff, and the cutoff sinks for a while and then makes the call. So my plan worked out so far. We go heads up to the turn. And the turn brings not the best card I was hoping for. It is the 7 of spades. So a possible straight could be done on the turn already. It goes over to the cutoff first to act, and he likes to check. Gets back to me, and at this point I like to pot control and check back and see what the river brings. The river is a 4 of diamonds and no decision on the cutoff, and he doesn't sink so much. He just put one of his big stacks into the pot. appears to $95 and I have a decision to make. And I run all possible holdings through my head, any with consisting of 6, maybe a6 suited in hearts, maybe 7-6 already, or maybe jack 10, he just float the flop, and maybe just with a heart just to see the turn. But since my hand is so strong and I beat any other set, I beat every 2 pair, any over pocket like 10s or jacks, and the price is so good, I have to pay $95 for a $460 pot, so I got 5-1, roughly 20% equity. And yeah, I call and he shows 8-7 suited, so he makes a 2 pair on the turn, and at the end the 7 is a good card for me. It brought some more dollar into the pot and I scoop a nice pot early in the game. The next few hours the board was not on my side, I only could win pots by stealing them like these ones. But there's one more big hand which unfortunately I didn't film. I'm in a small blind with pocket 3s, middle position open up to $15, cutoff called, me call. The big blind raised it up to $50, middle position makes the call after some thinking, cutoff folds, and I got priced in. I have to put another $35 for $165 pot. I have more than 10-1 implied odds, so I make the call and we go to the flop. And the flop comes as juicy as possible, 5-3-2 all rainbow. I check it over to the big blind. Big blind put in a big bet, I think it was like $70 around about. Now middle position player folds and I shove in all what I got left in my stack. I give him a really good holding like aces, kings, queens, maybe jacks even, and I'm looking forward to get called. So that's what happened. He calls, run out is pretty safe for me, and he shows kings. So I scoop a very big pot, happy with that. And yeah. Unfortunately, the rest of the night didn't went like this. The board worked against me, so I ended up losing this session as well. This was my Bellagio experience. Not running that good right now, but it's just the beginning and I never give up. But right now, for the moment, thank you very much for watching again. I really appreciate any like, any subscribe. See you soon. Thanks and peace.